They watched with a kind of delighted cruelty as the elite donor lifted a pricey bottle of wine and dumped it over the black woman's head as if she were nothing more than an unwelcome blemish in the room. Phones popped up, laughter echoed, and security got ready to remove her while the evening's entertainment rolled on. Yet through the dripping humiliation she stayed completely composed. No anger, no tears, just controlled, unshakable authority. She placed her handbag down, glanced at the auctioneer, and delivered a quiet warning that wiped the smiles from every face. "Before you lay a hand on me, make sure you know who bankrolls this auction." The Crystal Crest event was where power disguised itself as charity, draped in diamonds and self-importance. Wealthy donors filled the ballroom, more eager to flaunt status than generosity. In the center of the room, beneath a massive chandelier, sat items worth millions, paintings, artifacts, pieces of history, all waiting for the highest ego. Ava Sinclair entered alone. No photographers, no security detail. She didn't need loud introductions to prove her importance. She simply surveyed the room with calm precision and headed toward the front. A guard intercepted her. "Public seating is in the back." Ava didn't raise her voice. "I'm seated at table 1. He laughed like she'd delivered a punchline. "Only VIPs sit there, billionaires, board members." "You should check before assuming," she replied, but in this room assumptions were practically currency. He waved her away. "Find a seat somewhere else?" Ava continued anyway. Lydia Ashford, the auction's most adored and most arrogant donor, noticed instantly. Lydia thrived on attention and despised anyone she considered beneath her. She stepped straight into Ava's way. "Excuse me," Lydia said loudly enough for the nearby crowd to enjoy. "This is an exclusive event." "You must be lost." A ripple of muffled laughter followed. Ava remained composed. "No, I'm exactly where I should be." Lydia scoffed. "Security." "Remove her. She's cluttering the VIP section." Before security could move, an attendant revealed Ava's place card, VIP seat A1. Right beside Lydia's. Confusion flickered across Lydia's face, quickly replaced by irritation. She sat down sharply and hissed to her table. She must have stolen that card. Phones lifted discreetly. The room loved a public shaming. The auction began. Ava raised her paddle. 600,000, 700, 750. Tension rippled as Lydia's smile tightened when Ava placed a final bid that doubled the others. Lydia suddenly stood, grabbed a bottle of premium wine, and wearing a cruel grin tipped it. Wine spilled down Ava like a cascade of contempt. Gasps, laughter, recording phones everywhere. "Oops," Lydia sang. "Look what you made me do." "That bottle cost more than your life savings?" Ava didn't move, didn't wipe her face. She simply lifted her paddle again. "Continue the auction." The auctioneer hesitated. Lydia pressed harder. "She shouldn't even be here." "Stop indulging this. Fraud." Security advanced. The crowd leaned in. Cameras zoomed. The humiliation reached its peak. Ava calmly set her bag on the table. "Before you remove me," she said, voice steady and commanding, "verify who owns this auction." Lydia groaned. Here she goes with her fantasy titles. But the auctioneer's assistant checked the sponsor ledger anyway, just to shut down the moment. Her eyes widened, then widened again. She handed a file to the auctioneer with shaking hands. The microphone crackled as his voice broke. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a major oversight." A hush spread like smoke. Ava Sinclair is the principal owner of the Crystal Crest Auction Foundation. Silence choked the room. Lydia blinked. "That's impossible. I've been the face of this event for 8 years." Ava looked straight at her. "Faces can be replaced." The assistant kept reading. "And she has contributed the single largest donation in this organization's history." Security stepped back immediately. Lydia's frustration melted into panic. "This has to be a mistake." Ava finally rose. The entire room froze with her. "You poured wine on the woman funding every scholarship represented here. You mocked the person protecting the artifacts you pretend to care about. You laughed while humiliating the founder of the cause you exploit." Her gaze swept across the phones still filming. "You want a show? Let the world watch accountability." She held up a document. Effective immediately, all leadership roles are suspended pending investigation. Any donor connected to fraud or discrimination will undergo public audit. The era of elitist gatekeeping ends tonight. A few guests tried to slip out. Security blocked the exits. Ava nodded at the cameras. Stream everything. No more secrets. The auctioneer obeyed, turning the microphones toward her. Lydia Ashford used this nonprofit as her personal trophy display, Ava declared. Funds meant for struggling communities were siphoned into luxury trips. Historical artifacts hoarded instead of preserved. 6 years of evidence collected quietly until someone poured a bottle over my head. Lydia's voice cracked. Ava, please. I didn't know who you were. And that, Ava replied, is exactly why you fell? Your respect depends on status. Mine depends on humanity. The crowd immediately shifted away from Lydia. Even her closest allies retreated like she carried something contagious. Ava delivered her final order. Security, escort Miss Ashford out. She is permanently banned from every charitable institution under my authority. Lydia screamed as security took her arm. You can't do this to me. Ava didn't turn. You did it to yourself. The livestream captured Lydia's removal while donors around her quietly considered their own guilt. Ava looked at the auctioneer. Bring the next item. He nodded quickly, wiping sweat from his forehead. Yes, ma'am. Ava raised her paddle again. This time, no one questioned where she belonged. She owned the room. She owned the auction. She owned every eye locked on her.